Welcome back to another episode of Everyday Conversations. I'm your host, Martina Kennedy.
I'm your boy, Mr. J in the place.
And today we have another special guest, Mr. Courtney Thomas. Thank you for joining us today, Courtney.
It's a pleasure for having me.
Yeah, we need you to grace the place, to give us your insight on reaching the youth. I know we talked earlier last week about a few topics, and I thought that this would be a great topic to kind of touch on a little bit and just kind of band together and see what it is that we can do to help the youth in the communities. So we just gonna jump right into it. Again, thank you for joining us. The starting with our own city, I'll just say that it's been so much craziness going on that it's too much to even wrap your head around. So it's like, okay, what steps do you take to try to reach out to some of these kids that really just don't want to listen? You got some that want to listen, you got some that don't want to listen. So what do you think would be a good idea to kind of gradually get into the lives of some of these kids?
First off, we need to get more fathers back involved in the kids' lives for one. I think when you get more dads involved, a lot of the dads bring structure to the home. So a lot of kids, they just missing guidance for real.
True.
They just need the proper guidance.
Yeah.
And
I kind of agree with that. So here's my take on getting the dads involved in the home, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If your child is not staying with you, it's hard to raise a child in two different households. Cause what you may stand for as a father, you know what I'm saying, may not be getting executed over there with the mother that way, if that makes sense, right? So
I totally agree.
then on top of that, man, you got some dads out here, some fathers out here that want to be a part of their kids' life, but the mom is preventing that from happening. You know what I'm saying? So that also makes it hard for a dad. And we talking about the ones that really want to be a dad now, not the ones that just want to, fly by night. We ain't talking about them. You know what I'm saying? The ones that want to be present, the ones that want to, you know what I'm saying, be present and available. But you got a lot of mothers that's preventing that from happening as well.
I agree with that. But then, and we talked about this before. You do have some kids that do have their fathers at home with them, and it's just you can teach a kid everything that they need to know, and they still gonna go out here and turn out to be whatever it is that they want to be, following up behind their peers and trying to be in the cool crowd. So it's kind of it's like a touch and go situation. But for the ones that don't have that structure and stuff like that at home, what steps do you think we can take to get them to understand like what they doing is not cool? It's other things to be doing. It's other ways to express yourself without violence. So it's like, what do you do?
You just gotta show them a different way.
Let me try to pull up on
Show them a different way. It's pretty much what you surround your kids by and what they see on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to expose your kids to like a different environment for they'll know like it's a different outlet. It's different ways to do things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So this generation, I feel like they more exposed to a way lot more than the things we were exposed to growing up in life.
Yes,
So a
very
lot
much
of
so.
these kids, when we was growing up, it was only so much we did get a chance to see. A lot of stuff was hidden from us as kids. So now we raising kids in like a social media era. So
Right.
a lot of their influence come from people they don't even know,
Yes.
like far
Especially.
as like rappers and you
Mm-hmm.
know they don't really have like good role models to look up to. So they really look up to people that they can't identify with.
Mm. That and
That's
that's
just what I
tough.
feel.
And how do you even compare and compete with that when you trying to show them a different side? Like you said, the music is very influencing. And even though with us growing up, we listen to a lot of different rap music, and they said a lot of the same things that they saying now. It's just a different tone. But it's just
Yeah,
like, okay, we still turned out to be good kids.
I
A
think
lot of
I,
the kids didn't have the fathers in their lives like that. And I think that it's got to be, you got to want it, you got to want
mhm.
to do better. And that's kind of where I'm at with. It's like we can't make too many excuses for the reasons why these kids are the way they are. So that's my take on it.
You're right. But and then when we was growing up too, like the OGs or the older gentlemen in the areas, you know what I'm saying? They stayed on us growing up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
even when they seen us straying away, they like, hey man, that ain't the way to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
now you got people my age, they smoking with high school kids.
Sad
So
but
it's like
true.
the standard didn't drop now. Like I always held the kids like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at my son, so that's how I deal with other kids. So
Right.
if it's something I'm not finna do with my own child, I can't do that with another child because I have a certain standard that I live by.
That's
So a
true.
lot of dudes that's my age, you see them, they come in the barber shop, they got guns and stuff on them. So the kids, like it ain't nobody lean no more. So everybody just going in their own direction now.
Yeah. And to have to carry a gun, and I think I talked to them about this on Wednesday. Like, you pull up to the gas station and you see these dudes going in, guns hanging all out. Everything used to be discreet back then. Yeah, they toted guns, but they didn't let you see that that's what they had on them. A lot of times you wouldn't even know that people toted guns back in the day. But they so out in the open with it, like they don't care. They don't care about how they make you feel. They don't care about you're in their presence, and they cursing and carrying on the way they do. I've been at the school at games and stuff like that, and these kids have no respect, none. And sometimes you see where it come from. The parents come up there and act a fool in front of the kids. So it's like, okay, if the parents like this, of course the children gonna be like that, because they only going by what they see.
You right.
And most of the time it's always the mothers. They be acting a fool, not don't number one, don't have respect for themselves. So that's another thing that they got to deal with. They mamas out here wilding out. It ain't so much just about the dad, it's the mamas too. They not doing what they supposed to do. So it's like sometimes the mothers use the kids, the sons, as you basically using them as like they're your own man. You trying to mold them into something that you are looking for in a man, and you making your son be that person. That's a lot of pressure on a kid as well.
they can't mold them into being in something that they don't know nothing about.
Well,
You see,
that may be true.
they looking you can't expect your son to be something that you looking for when you don't, when your dad had never really taught you what it looked like to be with a you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that it ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna happen, you know what I'm saying. So they find themselves looking in other places, as like you say, they gonna look up to the rappers, they gonna look up to, you know, social media, this entertainment, but they not realizing and understanding that it's entertainment.
Right.
Right.
That's not what
And
they
they getting paid
realizing
through
is,
that. Yeah.
yeah, they don't realize that it's entertainment. like Courtney was saying, when we were coming up, we knew this. Listen, we knew it was entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But that still didn't stop some of our peers from trying to be that. You know what I'm saying? But yet
That's
and
true.
still we knew it was entertainment.
And again, like you gotta want to do better. A lot of these kids
Right.
don't want to
Hold
do
on,
better.
brother.
It's not that they can't; they just don't want to, because they feel like what they doing is, it's cool and everybody else doing it, but they know in their heart that it's not right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you
And
even
then
reach?
it's
How do
like
you even reach them?
who you surround yourself with too. You know, we was growing up, my grandma always used to tell me like, evil communication corrupt good manners. So you can know all the right things to do, but when you in the wrong company, you go out the window.
They go out the window.
So
Yes,
you
it
gotta
does.
you can't let your kids hang with anybody, man. It start with that too.
Yep.
Cause
And
I know when I
I
was growing up, I was around a lot of people and I was doing things I knew that was wrong, but I knew better. But I was just doing it because I was around the wrong people.
yeah.
I mean, so let me say this. And I heard what you said too, Courtney. But my thing is, right, you knew it was wrong, right? But
Yes, sir.
what I mean, so at what point you knew it was wrong, but you still did it. And you did it because you were trying to really show the people that you were with either how tough you was, or you ain't scared of nothing, or you know what I'm saying, or it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even though you knew what you were
Yeah.
doing was wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at some point you still and that time came to where you said, well, I ain't finna do this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna
Right.
do it because I know it's wrong. You
Mhm.
know, you know,
Yes, sir.
but when it comes to the youth, man, you know, and I we were talking about this on Wednesday as well, man, to where like they say, man, you know, you got a lot of babies raising babies. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's a very challenge. It's a very challenging situation because them young men do need some guidance. They do need some help. You know what I'm saying? And so the ones that people like us that want to reach the youth and want to try to steer them and put them in on the right path, you know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have those ones that ain't gonna want to do it regardless of what. And then you're
You're
gonna have
right.
the ones that's following them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they may want some more, want something different, but the ones that don't want to do it, they want to make it seem like it's so cool what they got going on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's just like I've never, and I've got family members that have been to prison, man, but they ain't never come home glorifying what went on or what it is down there. You got them out here now, man, and guess what? Guess what getting shown on social media? Them boys down there in the joint, man, they got phones and on
I was just
live and
gonna say that.
everything, man. You feel me? Them boys making it seem like they having a
It's
ball
like
down
it's
there.
like it's like it's the place to be. I ain't.
Right.
But like you said, that's a false narrative. So they
I
buy
get
into that false narrative. It's a false narrative, so they don't take it serious until they get in that situation, and
yeah.
then it be too late. Then, like, I just feel like if I believe in reach one, teach one. Like, if I
Me
can
too.
just reach one child, I feel like my mission complete because,
Mm-hmm.
William said, man, you just gotta coachable. The ones that listen, talk to them, drop wisdom on them, and the ones that don't want to listen, you'll just catch up with them later.
Yeah. You
That
gotta let them
listen,
want
but
it.
that for me, man, the way that it's going out here in the world like that, you might not be able to catch them later, cause they may not
Okay,
be here for later. You
you're
know what
right.
I'm saying? Especially with the path that they be on and the way that and man and karma come back quick nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Karma come back quick, man. You know, you can look at a lot of these young guys, man, that you know, you can tell that they want to be different and they want to do something different, but you know, they feel like don't nobody care about them, don't nobody love them. You know what I'm saying? So they just finna wild out by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? And then man, when they do have to get down now to them camps and all that stuff like that, you already know your folks really ain't got no money to be sending you down now. So now you're gonna find yourself in a compromising situation when you're behind that gate down now. You know what I'm saying? You got to survive. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them don't even make it that far, man. You know, cause the man, one episode, I think it was 2 episodes prior to this one, man, or maybe 3. Man, I had a chance to speak with Officer Truman with Birmingham Police Department, right? And the statistics that was put out, man, for the murder rate, just in our city alone, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, and a lot of it was just senseless acts of violence, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You want you a lot of, and get what, man? According to a lot of these young dudes, they'll go spin the block for their homeboy, but they ain't finna go do nothing for their sister or their mom or their cousin.
Right.
Listen,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
is the craziest thing. Like I've seen, like not nobody get killed, but like how they address a situation about their homeboys is crazy. Like it's mind blowing. Like I was like, whoa, like how is that even possible that you would do that? And that and let's just think about like with the Mo3 thing and Bees or whatever his name. Like they
I
was
seen
friends.
that
They
yesterday.
was once friends.
Is it true? Is he really locked up? He in jail?
Yeah. They said they knew. They said they knew. Like yeah.
Wow.
And I'm just like, it be stuff like that though. Like you'll go to back for them, and then on the same side they'll cut your back out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
But so what do we do, y'all? What do we do? You know, cause I look at the ones now. I ain't gonna lie. You got a lot of these young guys out here, man. A lot of these kids, and I ain't just gonna talk about the guys. Cause guess what? These young ladies worse than these dudes out here now. You know what I'm talking about? These young ladies out here doing more than what the dudes is nowadays. And here's the thing, though. You have some of these kids, man, that come from good homes.
Yeah.
Both of the parents in the home, but yet and still they still choosing to be one of they want to be the baddest and the crazy out of all of them. So what do you do to deter that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I said yesterday, I mean, you know, the other day, I know what it feels like when your mama say, "Hey, I done washed my hands with you. I done turned you over to the Lord." I know what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at how my life went right behind that, you know. But I mean, it's like this is a battle and it's a challenge, but at the same time, man, it's sad too, because you got to reach the ones that want to be helped, and you got to even try to reach the ones that don't want the help. And then when you realize that they don't want the help, you can't spend too much time on them. You got to go to the ones that really want the help. So for me, I be feeling like, man, I done turned my back on them. You know what I'm saying? Even though they displayed to me that they don't want the help, right? So I'm like, why not want the help? Why still choose to go down the path that you're going, knowing that it's only going to lead to destruction?
Yeah, because they got to realize, man, these consequences to everything you do in life. So once you make a decision, you gotta realize, like, you gotta be able to accept what come behind it too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just feel like when I talk to, I come in contact with a lot of young men, and I just
Mhm.
feel like I just plant the seed, man. That's
Mhm.
all God hold us responsible for, man. Once you plant a seed in somebody's life and you tell them, like,
Mhm.
it's on them what they do after that. Like, it was a lot of stuff my mama told me, and I got right out there and did the opposite. And I
Yeah.
seen that, man, my mama was right. Cause as kids, we ain't gonna always do what's right. You know, we
Mhm.
did different things, but it was a limit. We knew how far to go. Cause like your mama already told you, like, hey boy, you go to jail for something you ain't got no business doing, I
You
ain't
gonna
coming
be
to
just
get you.
down there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Right.
already knew that going
Yeah.
in. Like, man, if I go to jail for something I ain't got no business doing, I'm on my own. So it
Mhm.
made you move. It made you move different. So these
Mhm.
people, I talked to one young dude. I was like, man, where you see yourself from 6 months from now? He was like, bro, I'm living for the moment. So it kind
Wow.
of crushed me. Like, they don't even have
Wow.
plans. They don't even
Yeah.
think ahead. They
Yeah.
living for the
They don't.
moment.
They don't have no goals, no ambition, no, like, it's nothing. And I'm thinking of some ways, talking with some other people about, like, what can we do to, even if it's nothing but gather 5 boys and 5 girls, or 2 boys and 2 girls. I mean, I don't know. Whoever want it. And just kind of do some things with them, like show them like some trades, like Jay, electrical work, and my husband do construction. Like, just do something to give them something to look forward to. Maybe take a child out and buy them some joints or something, buy them an outfit, get their hair cut, get their hair done. Just something to make them feel good about themselves. Number one, a lot of kids don't feel good about themselves, so that's another reason why they go out here and they do things that they shouldn't do. A lot of times their household is in chaos, and they come out here and do things because they don't want to be at home. So it's so many reasons behind why they the way they are. But I was just trying to think of some ways. Me and Jay talked, and another guy talked about something, because back then we had recreation centers, we had free lunch, we had the swimming pool, we had everything at our fingertips in order to be a kid. And now they don't have any of that. All the fun is taken away. They talk about getting the guns off the street. They talk about, the community banding together. But if the community bands together and try to help with the crime, where they gonna go? What they gonna do? I mean, it's nothing for them. And it's not just the youth, because it's dudes that's 25 and up that's doing crazy stuff. And they older and know better. So it's just like, it's nothing for them to do in Birmingham. You can't go no, and the few places that we do go, they somewhere where we at acting a fool. So a lot of people don't even go a lot of places no more because they're afraid of the outcome. So it's like, we need centers, we need Boy Scout, Girl Scout, whatever. I mean, whatever it is now that we will get the interest. It's got to be something that's going to be interesting to them. And that's just like even going to school. School is not interesting to them. If these teachers are not doing things that's going to make them, it's going to grasp their attention. The attention span is already very low. The morale is very low. So they really don't care to even be there, number one. But if you do something, like when we was in school, we had things to look forward to. We had CPR classes in the gym. We played dodgeball. I mean, these kids don't seem like they do nothing. They don't go outside and play. They don't. Everything is off social media, phones, iPads, and all this other stuff. They on Roblox,
So
Fortnite.
so so they don't have those. So in the inner city, the Birmingham public school system don't have those electives and those classes that we took when we was in school
Right.
like that.
Because they
They
took the
don't
funding
have,
away.
yeah, And not only that, they just, but if you go to Shelby County, Chelsea, they got those classes for those kids down there.
Right.
Birmingham public school system don't have that, and it's a thing of them just really just trying to now, and it's funny that you said that, because I just seen this morning that they talking about raising the superintendent, Mr. Mackey, $90,000.
I saw that.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you raising his, but then you don't
His
have
salary,
funding
his
for.
his salary increasing $90,000.
But you don't have
But you
funding
got
for
the
the city
teachers
walk.
underpaid. The teachers underpaid.
Facts. And then now, man, so when we was in school, y'all, our teachers used to say, "Hey, I got mine. You need to get yours." Now you got so many young teachers in there. They ain't really, and I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them, man, they don't care nothing about them children learning that. They ain't trying to push them kids to be better than what they are right now today. You know what I'm saying? And then, you got the kids that's coming to school, because some of them getting abused at home, some of them ain't eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? School is their outlet. That's where
their
they go to escape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can't tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of them have a dangerous road to walk just to get home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy, y'all, and it's frustrating, and don't get me wrong, man, it get me mad too, because you look at this our future. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Now, and I ain't saying, but we still fighting with each other. They I don't see none of them going over. And guess what? It's crime going on out there in Hoover too.
Oh yeah,
It's crime going on down there in Shelby County too.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't finna put that on the news, because majority of the people that work on the news stay in them places, and they don't want their property value to go down. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. There's a lot of crime going on out there, but they ain't finna put it on the news like that though.
Yeah.
So but to reach our kids, y'all, and then so Courtney, you got a program started up or something, or you just doing this on your own, man?
No, I don't got no program started, but I just feel like that's what my mission is, man. Like reaching the young man, like you said, the young men. That's our future, man. I got a son. He finna be 19, like in 2 weeks, and I constantly like think about him and the peers he be around. Like you were saying, like he graduated 2024, and like his counselor was like 24 years old. So like you said, everything just so different and young now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we had some young teachers back in the day, and they just starting to age a little bit. But I'm not calling the name, but I know several. Several. I tell you off air. But it was just different though. It was
it was really
it was
different, right? Cause and then like now, the younger teachers now, they still they so young in their early 20s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they still can get enticed by a young lady or a young man. You get what I'm saying? Not last year, the young lady, she was married and messing with the little boys where he was a high school senior.
16 years old.
16 years old or whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you looking like she a good grown woman, but she's still young though. You know what I'm saying? She's still young. She in the school. You feel me? But she had a whole husband and everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's still so like I said, the time that we living in, y'all, is so different, man. And Courtney, as a father, man, I understand and I commend you, bro, for just still standing in the gap the way that you do. But I know, man, yeah, man, I know that it'd be a thing of you just like you not afraid for your son, man, of the things that you done put in him and how to be a man and things like that. I know it run through your mind. How would your son survive in a world that's not designed for him 10 years from now, 15 years from now? You know what I'm
right.
saying?
I think about it all the time because it's like he go to school in South Carolina, so it's
Oh
like,
man,
when he come back home, it be kind of sad at the same time because it's like
yeah.
it's nothing.
It, it,
My
and
nephew, he just graduated from the military. I'm like, you coming back? He like, nope. Like it's nothing. It's nothing
get away,
really.
bro.
Once you see something
Encourage them
different.
not to come back, man.
Yes,
Encourage them
sir.
not to come back right here, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, you know, when you see them boys, man, them guys that got them opportunities, man, I encourage all of them. Hey, leave him, man. Cause get what? Yeah, we
I mean, want to
older.
leave here. Cool. We've been thinking about it because it's just like, okay, and I know it's stuff it's gonna be stuff everywhere you go, but it's just
you gotta constantly pray.
Yeah,
you gotta pray a lot. When you got raising kids, you gotta pray a lot. You gotta lay that foundation. Cause it's like when my boy first went off to school, I was kind of nervous. And God just told me, like, man, you laid the foundation. He well grown, so he can survive anywhere. But
I mean,
it's
I
just
get
you
that,
gotta.
man. That's yeah.
Once you lay that foundation, a lot of people they foundation don't be laid. So when you don't got a solid foundation, you don't got nothing to stand on.
Yeah. I mean, I get that to a certain degree, man. You know what I'm saying? I get it to a certain. Y'all stated earlier, man, and I think Cherub said it best. You know, you can raise your child up, you know what I'm saying, the best way you can and provide and all this, and they still gonna get out here and they got to find their own path. You know what I'm saying? And just like we did, you know what I'm saying, they gonna make the mistakes, you know what I'm saying? But I think for us, you know, we was, you know what I'm saying, like we was still afraid of our parents, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays,
right.
the kids ain't afraid of nothing, man.
That's
They ain't afraid of nothing
it
and
right there.
nobody.
That's
You know
it
what
right
I'm
there.
saying? They not afraid of nothing and nobody, man. And another thing, they think that we've been old all our life. You know what I'm saying? They think we
Like
ain't
we
never
don't
been
know,
their
like
age
we
before.
haven't been around.
like you know what I'm saying? They think that we just been, I've been 40 for the last 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like, you know, so and then, you know, to reach a kid or to, as what they say now, you got to meet them where they at. That ain't always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these kids in some dark places, man. Some of these kids in some troublesome places. And you can't always meet them where they at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a different thing to reach them on their level. You get what I'm saying? But in order to do that, you got to stay in the loop of what's really going on. Man, listen, I can count how many. Listen, man, I call all my little cousins. Hey, what this mean? What this lingo is? Cause I don't know it. You feel me, gang? I don't know it. Like, Courtney, I don't know it, bro. Listen, hey, what that emoji? Hey, somebody sent me this emoji and it looked like this. What that mean?
You
know what
definitely got to stay on top of your game.
You got to stay on top of your game.
They be laughing at us, but hey, we didn't have phones and all that back then. You know, it might sound like it's a long time ago, but number one, that wasn't even our interest.
We
wanted to be outside.
We had this. With the
we wanted to be outside more than talking about being on the phone and all that other stuff. I mean, we did stuff and we hung out and stuff like that, but it was so safe. Like it's been plenty of times that we done been out on a Friday night, like tonight. Us at 16 and 17 years old,
I'm out
we was outside.
I'm out there.
downtown. I mean, in the
Hey,
clubs,
some,
whatever,
listen,
and we were safe.
somewhere
But
doing
but look, the
something.
worst, like you said back then, the worst thing that could possibly happen was a fight.
Was
That's
a
it.
fight.
That was
That's
it.
it.
That's
And
it.
get wet. And get wet. Hey man, doing some of the good times though. You know what
Man,
I'm
listen,
saying? Them
I
some of
go
the
I
good
go get a
times, man.
haircut, man. I'm in there with 10 young men. Everybody got guns.
Yeah,
I'm like, man, if some pop off in here, I'm screwed, man.
Get
it's
wet,
But
hard,
bro.
and
I
that
try
puts
to
you in
I
an
try to talk to
uncomfortable
them. I be
position.
trying to talk to them and let them know, man, that ain't the way to. That ain't it, man.
Courtney, I guarantee, man. Probably ain't everybody in there got a gun on them, bro. But it ain't about one of them they gonna bump. You feel me? But
Yeah,
about one they gonna bump with somebody. You feel me? Like
they ain't find nobody.
everybody, yeah, they ain't doing that, man. So I'm just like,
A
I
lot
don't know,
of them just
man.
need some love, man.
Yeah,
They respect me though. I come in contact with a lot of them, man. They call me Big Unc. So when they in my presence, man, I try to let them know, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Go to school, go to college, get you a job, man.
do
Cause
something.
them streets gonna lead you down a dangerous path you don't want to go down, man. And when you get in that courtroom, ain't none of your friends gonna be there with you, only your mama. So you
Yep,
gotta think about that, man. They go ride along with you, but when it get real, ain't none of them people gonna be around you in the end.
yep.
Cause I seen a lot of kids play football with my son growing up. A lot of them in the county right now. But like you said, it's all about your decision making.
It's
Right.
about your decision. You gotta want
Your
it. You gotta
decision
want to do
making every day. Like you said, Martina, you can have the best parents and still turn out to not to be nothing. So it's a choice you got to make every day, like what you want to be out of life.
and then they try to play the victim, or why they doing this and why they doing it. And again, yeah, some kids probably having, households probably in chaos or whatever, but for the most part, like you said, a lot of them just go out here and do what they want to do because they're just what they want to do. But why do that when you don't have to? It's so many other things out here that you can be doing. It's so much money out here to be made, and
Yeah.
they would rather do it the illegal way and the non-safest way when you can go out here and you can be anything you want to be.
And then look at this too, Martina. A lot of boys I meet, they the man of their house.
Yeah,
Ain't that
Man,
change, bro? Ain't that?
I mean boys putting out knots like this.
yeah,
They paying their mama bills, so they mama ain't finna tell them like
yeah. She ain't
what
finna
you
say, yeah,
she ain't finna no. I'm talking
And get
about
what?
real
And get what?
talk
And get
where
what?
I done seen these boys living like that.
Bro, get what? And they mama gonna let them bring the pack in there, trap up out of there and everything, and she ain't finna say nothing.
right.
She ain't gonna say nothing.
And the mothers are a big problem too. The
Yeah,
mothers
yeah,
are a big
yeah,
problem too with
yeah.
these young men. And to the ones that don't hold their boys accountable, and girls too, they don't hold their kids accountable when they know
That's where it
that,
need to be at right there.
right. They
Come
know
on, right there.
sometimes that these kids been and done stuff, and then they'll say they didn't do it to the end, and then you look up on the news that a child is. Well, I thought
Hmm.
you said he didn't do it.
And then at the same time, like I
Get the
talk about
trash.
all the time, about how everybody want to holler, nigga, get that money, get that money, man. Ain't nobody telling me to go fix my credit.
Right,
Ain't nobody telling me to make sure I start this IRA Roth form. You feel me? There ain't
right.
nobody talking about that. They just telling me to go get this money. You know what I'm saying? So is I think it's for me is trying to reach the youth and save the youth is very much needed. It really is. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, how could you how could you um how can I put it? How could you how could you help without um losing sight and focus on your own child.
You know, sometimes you can take that junk home with you because it be so heavy on you because you want to help a child. I done kind of been in a situation like that, and it took so much out of me. It took so much energy to try to understand like what was going on with this child, and it's just I don't know. I think if we can all just kind of band together some type of way to I don't know, go to the school or go to some schools and just kind of talk to admin or somebody and just see like if they can pick out a child or two that they think, would want the
I
help.
mean, but that's so hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Because picking out a child or two that want the help. You know what I'm saying? But what about putting in a little effort to that one that's sitting over there in that corner by themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
the one you gotta
like I said,
watch.
yeah, like I said, it's a challenge, and it's definitely a major task to complete because you know what I'm saying. You do have the kids, man. That and I look at the ones in our own family, man. Sometimes I feel like I done failed the fellas in our family because you know even though everybody got to make their own path and make their own way, you know what I'm saying? It's still to the point of where, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at the thing that I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's one thing for me to always keep a job, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I may get up and go to work every day, but I'm still out here doing what they doing. So they looking like, shit, what's so special about Jay? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he went to work. Yeah, okay, but he still like him doing what everybody else doing. You know what I'm saying? So but when you start to get older and you start to say, hey, I got to set these goals for myself. You know what I'm saying? I got to, it was always, tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll take you for instance. You know what I'm saying? Your mom and dad were together for a long time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you didn't come out of a single parent household until it was way after the fact. Here, you good and
I
grown
became
now.
a teenager. I was out, almost out of high school. Yeah.
Yeah, so you good and grown now. So it's like, hey, but at the same time, what about your brother? What about your cousins? You see what I'm saying? Like that's why I say sometimes, man, I look at the fact of to the thing of like, I ain't graduated Woodlawn High School. I went and got my GED.
Mm-hmm.
But I still went to community college. I still made some of myself. You know what I'm saying? I still, you know what I'm saying? So, and at the same time, yeah, I'm a product of Avondale and Woodlawn, Kingston, East Side, and I ain't forgot how to do that. You know what I'm saying? But
And
at the same,
that's where we came from. And it's not, people talk about living in the projects and stuff like that. There's a lot of great people came from the projects. So it's not where you from.
It is, and I ain't forgot how to do that. But at the same time, you have to, once you get to a certain age, you got to put that to the side and make sure that. I think that's why we go so hard the way that we do, because we got kids. You know what I'm saying? Ain't about us no more, and we want to make sure that our kids don't go through the things that we went through as kids. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to and even with your kids, you still got to pick and choose your battle. You know what I'm saying? You still got to pick and choose your battles with them. Hey man, listen.
Look, they say it's always gonna be that one.
Hey, Courtney, for real. So
it's always gonna be always that one, baby.
Yeah, it's that one. So I'm gonna ask you this, man. You talk about your son, right? You got a son, man.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
did you feel like, man, I caused so much hell with my mom and dad, man, coming up, man. I don't even want no son, cause they say what you do to your parents, your
Hey,
children do to you.
man, you absolutely right, man. When we went to the doctor and she found out she was having a boy, I actually cried, man.
Cause you were saying like, man, they finna be 10 times worse
Yeah.
than what I done did.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah,
son was totally opposite of me, man.
and that's a
Totally
blessing, man.
opposite.
That's a blessing,
Yes,
man.
sir.
For real, for real, for real. I
Man,
mean,
my
Everything,
daughters was too till
area
got to
that
the last one.
area that I fell in or lacked in, like he just came behind me and just,
and just,
man, just
yeah,
proud,
yeah.
man.
Man, I got a daughter, man, and I ain't gonna lie. I think it's just, for me, I done been in quite a few ready-made families, as you say. You know what I'm saying? And and at any given time, you know what I'm saying, a person can walk away from that. But when you got your own child, you know what I'm saying, that's something you can't walk away from, even though some men do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Even some women then left. I done dated women that then left their kids with the dad. You know what I'm saying? And they out here living their best life. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, for me to experience the things and Cherry knows I talk about it like she was like, your child and my child, they cousins for real.
For
You feel
real.
me? Like I be like, man, something that you go through with the kid, with your children, you know what I'm saying? You it's like, man, are you for real? You really doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's for me to have to stand there and deal with it, man. Ain't no walking away. You know what I'm saying? You got to
You be
deal
crying
with
in
it.
the car.
Hey,
They had you crying in the car. I'm telling you.
listen.
Because you done everything possible. Like you said, lay that foundation. We done laid the foundation.
It
You got
done.
the dad
It
and the
done.
mom at home. Like you done laid the foundation. Like, what in the world is you doing? Like,
Man, you be
why is
right.
this
Look, you
happening?
be driving and crying. Look up
Crying
you
and
in
driving. I'm
look up
telling
you
you.
in Memphis. You
Yeah.
like, damn, how I make
Yeah.
now I gotta turn around and go back home. I gotta go
Boy,
to
I'm
work in a
telling you.
couple of hours, so it's just but
Sometimes
like
they'll take you down through there.
yeah,
I'm glad
that's
I'm
why I
on the
say
other end of it now.
even with your kids, you gotta pick
Yeah.
and choose your battle. But yo, Courtney, man, we had lost you for a second, man, but I asked the question as of, you know, yeah, you want to help the youth and reach out to them, but how do you do that and still not lose focus on trying to be present for your own kid?
You
You
back.
must got yeah, man. Like I was saying, how do you reach the youth and still not lose focus on trying to be present for your own child? You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta have time management, man. Time management. Like my son at the age now, like he becoming a young man. He
Hmm.
finna be 19 next week. So a lot of time that I like, even at the football games, man, like in high school, like I used to always tell him when we was riding home, like, man, it's a blessing to be able to have a father in your life. Because like on senior night, a lot of those football players, they didn't have no dad to represent them.
Mm-hmm.
They got there with their
So
mama.
a lot of his friends, they used to call me Unc, and they used to always like laugh and play with me, and they used to tell Peanut, my son named Peanut, and they just used to tell him like, man, we wish we had a dad like you, man.
Yeah.
Cause I always tried to make my presence known, like be
Fact,
involved.
Mm-hmm.
fact.
So a lot of young men, man, they really ain't have nobody to look up to. And when I talk to
Hmm.
a lot of them, man, they just misguided, bro.
Hmm.
They just
Yes.
misguided. A lot of kids, man, they don't even be bad kids for real.
No, they
They
don't.
just never had nobody. They just never had nobody to just stop and take out time with them and show them like, You know what I'm saying? It's another way, man. Like
That's
I'm
true.
40, I just turned 40 on the 2nd. So I didn't make it to this age by, you know what I'm saying, always doing the right thing. You know, we had to be transparent when we talk to our kids and let them know, like, we did things, we can't hide that from our kids. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be transparent and let them know. But we knew, we already knew, like, it was a limit on what we did. Because we knew the consequences that was going to come behind it. So I never really had no problems out of my son, and that was a blessing, man. Like, just
It
being
is,
honest.
bro. It is. And you know what? Me and Cherry were talking about this the other day, man, about how, you know, you do have to be transparent and open and you can't sugarcoat it with these kids now.
You
You know what I'm
can't.
saying? Not the ones now. No, you got to give it to them straight. That's how it is. Cause get what? The world ain't what it was when we were. The times are so different. So you can't dumb it down for them, or you can't just keep them in a bubble with it. You got to give it to them straight, no chaser. You feel me? You got to give it to them so they'll know. Cause get what? That's how the world gonna give it to them, just like that.
That's true.
And then, like you said, man, growing up, I ain't really hear my dad telling me, like, man, I love you. He loved me, but he ain't really, like, physically tell me that. So, you know, in the black community with men, man, most men don't, man, when you say I love you, man, that take a lot out of a man for him to even say he love you. Cause that just ain't something.
I ain't hear from my dad according to I was 30 years old, bro.
Man,
I was 30 years old when I heard my dad say that, man.
So you can relate. Yeah, that's
bro. Listen, and he said it called, get what? I was looking at 10 years. You know what I'm talking about? I was looking at 10 years. And you know, and at that time, man, for me to turn 30, man, and that was my first time hearing my dad say that, but we have to look at it differently, man, to the fact of, you know, like my dad was a master electrician. You know what I'm saying? He just retired in 2020, so I can wind up a building in a house right now. You feel me? So that's his way of showing me, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man,
love.
This love, man. I'm teaching you something that you're gonna always be able to eat with. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always be able to eat, bro. That's the love that our fathers displayed to us. You see what I'm saying? Like, but we had to. It didn't resonate to us like that when we were younger. But I know you reflect back on a lot of things, man. And you know what I'm saying? That kind of make you just be like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? Even with some of the young ladies, man, like, man, a lot of these young ladies, man, they ain't got no mothers to teach them on being young, respectable women. Cause get what? Some of their mamas didn't teach them. So how can you teach a child something that you don't know nothing about, that you had to figure it out along the way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Definitely right, man.
Well, I definitely this was definitely a good conversation. Maybe we can get together and try to figure out what it is that we can do, come up with some ideas to try to reach some of the kids.
Yeah, I'm in.
I got a couple more people that's on board, so if you on board, Courtney, just let me know, and we'll just go from there.
We want to do like a community fun day or something, like maybe like shoot basketball, like get some moonwalks, and you know, whatever y'all want to do, just let me know. I'm all on board.
Yeah, let me know, man. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in.
Well, we definitely thank you and appreciate you for stopping in and giving us some insight on, you know, reaching out to you. And again, we'll be in contact with at a later date to see what we can come up with, and hopefully it's successful. And we can reach out to some of these kids in the community.
Okay, thanks for the invite.
No problem. Come by anytime. You welcome anytime. We mostly on Wednesdays, but we did Fridays because you was on today.
Okay.
But again, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for watching and listening to Everyday Conversations. I'm your host, Marcini Kennedy.
I'm your boy, Mr. J in the plate.
As always, take care, guys.